All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the March Heartland Continuum of Care General Membership Meeting. We appreciate you taking the time this morning to jump on and to be a part of this, and we thank you for the work that you all do. As we get started this morning, Amy has kind of mentioned she looked at the minutes, and we had neglected to include her name, so we apologize for that. But we can get that edited. Did anybody else see any edits that need to be made for minutes, or is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion with that correction.
Thanks, Penny. Do
And
we have
I'll
a second?
second.
Thanks, Amy. We're recording, but I'm gonna do minutes myself here. So if I'm a little slow, that's what's happening. All in favor indicate with an eye or a thumbs up.
Aye.
Or
Aye.
Aye.
awesome.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Well, thanks everybody. Well, we were excited. We were going to have a presentation from Spark this morning to sort of talk about how they can come alongside organizations and provide services for folks with developmental disabilities. But they kind of last minute had an opportunity to do a tour of their building with leadership from state government. And so it was really, really important that they do that. So we're glad they've got that opportunity, but we're missing the chance to hear from them this morning, but we'll reschedule that for another time. So maybe two benefits. This may be a shorter meeting for you all, but the other benefit would be that, as we get to agency updates later in the meeting, we certainly have a lot of time for you all to share about the work that you're doing and things that are coming up in the community. So with that, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the Heartland Continuum of Care Lived Experience Advisory Board and Lived Experience Collaboration. And I'm going to pass that off to Jamie.
I'm talking earlier than I thought I would. Okay. Hi, everybody. So since about August of last year, the Continuum and Heartland House, we have been putting on focus groups for lived experience collaboration. So basically we were hosting these focus groups to generate buy-in, see, participation with folks with lived experience of homelessness, and really get the word out there that Heartland Housed and the COC believe that engaging persons with lived experience is critical to achieving any of the goals that we have outlined in our strategic plan. So a lot of those monthly focus groups have been where Heartland House presents and, kind of gives a little background, a little bit of information on our current efforts and what we hope in the future. And we also discuss how the Lived Experience Advisory Board could weigh in on those future endeavors. And so the last one that we hosted was in February, and we're hopeful to now start moving towards creating that actual board. And what's popped up on the screen here is exactly what we're hoping for, just a group of folks who's gonna, regularly provide their input and act in an advisory board capacity. So they will act in that capacity in conjunction with the strategy board, with Heartland House, and then also the Continuum of Care board. So there are a couple of requirements for those folks to join, experience homelessness within the last 7 years. Also ability to attend monthly meetings with, via Zoom or in person. And the main thing is really to, just have that desire and that passion to, help the community and provide input and whatnot. There's also compensation for their time. So if an individual has expressed interest, which they can do by applying, and you can find that in all of our newsletters that we've been posting, but also on our website, we have a lived experience collaboration tab. There's more information on there, kind of more about the background, the purpose, and then there's the application right then and there. If they apply through that, then that goes through kind of a process where the board looks over, the COC board, I'm sorry, looks over the application, and from there, they're then communicated with on whether or not they're in that board. Again, that's on our website. And again, the information, the compensation, the monthly set meetings, all of that is there. And I think that's all I kind of wanted to cover. Just the main thing was just these efforts have been going on for a while and they're finally coming to an end. And the recruitment process is probably the hardest part of that. So I'll be sending out reminders. I'll be sending out just more information, applications, kind of nudges to each organization, just to see, if there's anybody that you think would be perfect for this, have them apply or have them reach out to me with any questions. I'm always available. That's all. That's all I got.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah.
The next item, any questions about that, I guess, before we before we just cruise on?
Sorry, any questions?
Not seeing anything in the chat, but Jamie would be happy to connect with anybody if you have questions down the line. So the next item to update you on, I believe we talked about this at our January meeting, but in January we were preparing a team of folks to go to Joliet for a summit to kind of help kick off the 100-day challenge. Since then, we took a group of 12 folks to the summit. In the second week of February, we launched the 100-day challenge to address homelessness. So we're kind of in the midst of that. Jamie, do you want to hit on a couple of the efforts involved in that? Sort of what we're at a high level, perhaps what we're trying to accomplish over now the next 40, 60? No, 60 days. We definitely have more than 50. So
Okay. Scared me a second.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so really a lot of the focus is more just around collaborative efforts. And with that comes, street outreach efforts, that comes case conferencing, that also comes with, improving data and capturing that data and quality data. So with all that said, there are a couple different, avenues that we can go with that. The outreach really is just trying to ensure that folks that are already doing outreach in our community are kind of aware of what, coordinated entry is and what the COC is and what all these agencies are. And then that way we can all collaborate to ensure services are, given to those out and about, but also that they're not duplicated. And that kind of goes along with quality data, maintaining, making sure if you're interacting with someone that you're documenting those efforts, and then also making sure that if there's any services they're needing, whether it be housing or, mental health or whatnot, that there's documentation that those have been provided or, different referrals have been going on. So that's kind of one of the main avenues that we're, sub goal or goal that we're working on under this 100-day challenge lens. And another one is just case conferencing. So it's one thing to say, hey, like, yeah, I interacted with that person, and then, nothing comes of it. So a lot of it with that collaborative effort is really pushing agencies and, supporting them and making sure that they are able to collaborate and vice versa. So a lot of that's figuring out, when it comes down to if there's any confidentiality or any, roadblocks in the way. It's this, 100-day challenge kind of overview has allowed us to really be innovative, think differently, think how we can adjust any of what we currently have going on and see if we can improve it. So those are kind of just a couple of the different avenues that we've been working to improve. I don't know if I missed anything, Josh, but feel free to.
No, there's a lot there, and I
Yeah.
think there will be some more training opportunities for outreach and some items like that, which I think will be helpful. And then, in January, the Continuum of Care Board adopted street outreach community standards. And so this is, probably two things that this is helping us do is kind of help take those community standards and bring them to life and the practice of outreach in the community. So it's been kind of exciting to see the different partners, come together and just wrestle with what's in there. And then the second thing it's not necessarily an agenda item, but I think we updated late last year that we started working with Community Solutions, and they're Built for Zero technical assistance through a state initiative. And so a lot of the goals we set for this 100-day challenge are helping us move towards what's called quality data and hit some of the metrics that we have in that Built for Zero technical assistance initiative. So it's a lot of things are coming together, I think, in a really neat way around this. So we're excited. It's definitely pushing into some areas that historically as a community we just haven't been able to, really make some progress in. So so we're excited to see where we get and kind of what it leads to even after the 100 days. Any questions on that? Because I'm hoping that when we
Josh?
get the agency updates, you guys are going to be, you're gonna blow the
Hey,
doors
Josh.
off the place. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I just want to throw something out there also that goes along with that. Quality data is not necessarily bad data. So I don't want any of the agency executives thinking that all of their people are putting in bad data. It's more of a process to make sure the flow is actually what we say is actually happening. So if a person leaves your shelter and goes to permanent, we mark it that way versus the generalized, well, we don't know where they're going, or updating income. So it's not that it's bad data. I don't want everybody feeling like they're putting in bad data. The data that they're doing is good. It just needs to go a couple of steps further to be more confident, basically, that it's accurate data.
I think that's a good clarification, Tracy, too. And I think you're kind of getting at the overall goal, right?
Yeah.
With all of that, really what we're working towards is, through HMIS having a by names list of every person experiencing homelessness in this community with a level of confidence around that. And so that quality data really, to Tracy's point, kind of helps us get at the confidence that we have intake processes and ways of connecting and ways of developing that confidence. So good stuff. All right. The next item on our list, every year we talk quite a bit. We kind of send out 1 million emails about HUD's Continuum of Care competition. That is, the federal government's, way of providing funding. Sorry. Providing funding for our community to address homelessness, and it's basically a funding competition, right? So our community, our organizations put in applications for projects, and then our whole community has to put in an application basically saying, this is what we're doing as a community, this is how we're partnering. Having you all on this general membership meeting and having you all collaborate through the different task groups and ways that you do helps us with that. But and then we do that process, and then we wait quite a bit for whatever the results might be. And since our last meeting, we got those results. So just kind of wanted to give you a quick update on that. And we made a fancy little chart even to show you. But if you kind of see, this is going back to 2019. So the four lines here, right? This is the lowest score of the competition from any continuum of care in the country is sort of down here. The blue line is us as a community. Whoops, I got some automatic advancement going. Here we go. And Keynote, it took over on its own here. I apologize, it's not responding to me. Let me. Goodness. All right. So sorry.
This is where we're missing Val cutting some jokes on us to kill
Right,
some
we
time
need
for you.
somebody.
So I'll jump in there and do that.
Earn it. All right, let me try again. It's like the talks amongst yourself moment, where the virtual meeting gets super painful. Okay. We'll edit all this stuff out afterwards, make it look better. So don't worry. It's gonna be good. All right, let's try again. Okay. Here we go. All right. So the gray line is the lowest score. The blue line is our score. So where we were in 2019 is here. The total score of the competition is around 200 points. The orange score is like the median score, right? So 50% of the communities are below and 50% are above. And then the white score is the highest of all continuums in the country. So you can see last year we were around, I want to say it was around 12 points below the highest COC in the country. This year our score was 3.5 points behind the highest continuum of care in the country. So for us, I think one of the things that we really want to highlight out of that is that without the work that all the organizations in this community are doing and you all are doing as partners, there's really nothing to write about in that grant, and there's no way for us to be competitive. But it's the ongoing work of the task groups and organizations working to actually do quality data, right? Like to make sure they're getting things entered in, and even organizations entering in data even if they don't have HUD grants, and right. So it's all of that level of collaboration that helps us and gives us something to write about. And so yeah, so I just wanted to, I think that's a point to celebrate. It's a community win. And then one of the things that it leads to is increases in funding. When we score high in the competition, we're more likely to win new funding from HUD. Our community's funding went up around $80,000 this year. In 2012, we were getting around $650,000 from HUD. That dropped to a low point of 402 in 2019. So over the last 4 years, we've seen that increase quite a bit. So it's exciting. It's just one of the avenues we have to explore as a community to increase funding and increase resources. We have to explore others as well. But Amy, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, thanks, Josh. I just wanted to mention, because there's a lot of people on this call that have absolutely no idea really what the NOFO entails. I just kind of want to reiterate for all of them that it is an incredibly difficult and tedious process. And the fact that we were 3 points below the highest scoring COC is just absolutely mind-blowing and incredible. Huge kudos to you and your team for putting that together. Like, I mean, sure, I know that we're doing like the groundwork. I get that. But it also takes a lot of wordsmithing and putting it together, piecing it together. And I'd like to encourage anyone that's on this call to go to the Heartland Housed website and read the NOFO, because it is still the big NOFO is still listed on there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the grants page. Will take you to like that competition, and it's got all the documents, and that one's on there.
So even if they don't want to get to the nitty gritty, just skim it and see how incredibly difficult that this process is. So just hats off to you guys,
Thanks,
especially
Amy.
to you, Josh. Thanks.
We appreciate that.
To follow
Hey,
that
Josh,
with-
can you mute everybody?
You know what? I don't.
It's disturbing. I hear people in the background.
And I apologize that I am like not officially the host of this meeting, so I do not have that power.
I think Penny was going to say something.
I was just going to piggyback off of you, Amy. I think, and Josh, is it possible to go back to that first slide?
Yes.
I think that what I really want to highlight is the fact of where we were in 2019, and Josh joined us at the beginning of the pandemic. I think that's important to note. And so the level of attention and dedication to changing these scores, to me, is just phenomenal, that we've not only done it in 3 years, but most of that time we were consumed with a pandemic, and that this has changed so much is just unbelievable to me. And so thank you, Josh, and thank you everyone that has come on to help Josh, and of course to all the agencies for the incredible work.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the coolest things about this is that, and I think like Amy, you're right, Penny, you're right. Like it's hard to communicate like how much of a true community effort this is, and I think sometimes as a community, we tend to sort of kick ourselves around a bit, you know, but you know, I think one level, right, like our community, the Continuum said, like, hey, we need like some people at the system level helping to track this stuff and keep up with it and write about, right? It's like that's like one part of it. The community recognized that, funded these positions through Heartland House. You know, I think the other part though is that, you know, really, you know, there were in 2019, there were probably points on the table, right? Because you know, but it is like a sign of how much work the community puts in, you know, that even gives us a chance to kind of be up there. So it's to me, it's like it's just such a neat such a neat thing to kind of look back and see, you know, what our community has accomplished, and it is a testament to at every level the work that folks are putting in. So I hope everybody kind of receives it as a pat on the back for sure. Hey, and let's get those 3.5 points, folks. Like let's just go all the way now, right?
I broke it down. Remember, Josh, it's doable.
It's Tracy has dug deep on the data side and different parts of the competition. Absolutely. And there's a debrief. We could send that out to folks too, that, and maybe we'll throw a link to the NOFO in there so folks can see it. So from there, I want to hit announcements, and then we'll have the rest of the time for agency updates and public comments, and we'll cut you free. But I'm so sorry. Again, if you're on the call and could mute yourself, that would be great. I don't have the ability to. Jamie, I don't know if you have the ability to mute folks, but
I don't. I already tried.
okay, we'll work on that before May. But one of the things on announcements that, you know, we've talked a bit about as a community and outreach in different spaces, but we had friends from Decatur that reached out to us too about really predatory approaches to rehabilitation treatments. Essentially, probably the short of it, and I can't tell if Officer Newman is on the call, but Officer Newman has had quite a bit of experience with these groups. Basically, these outreach efforts will come into the community. They'll talk to people about rehabilitation programs in California. They'll offer people, you know, airfare to get out there. They'll collect all their data to kind of take them through this, you know, insurance type of process. And then whenever the organization is able to kind of pull whatever they can from the insurance efforts, they more or less, you know, to put it bluntly, just sort of you know, discard people and leave them on their own to kind of figure out what to do next. And so we've certainly seen some dangerous situations flow from it, including even the loss of life of one of our community members out in California. You know, Decatur seeing the same thing and raising the red flag. And so we wanted to elevate that too in this space to just sort of say, you know, if you are seeing this, you know, our friends at Washington Street Mission have kind of you know, raised the flag. Folks at the Breadline that's been another spot. The library historically was one of the places where people would show up and try to recruit folks. So we just want to put that on your radar. And also, I mean, some of you that are on the call, again, you may have had experience or may have had firsthand concerns that you'd want to share with folks. I think it's important that folks understand, unfortunately, that this is one of the ways that that people we work alongside of get preyed upon, and to the degree that we can be on the lookout and be vigilant to provide good information in the midst of it, we all need to do that. Has anybody else had experience with that or heard of that, or is that new to anybody that?
Hey, Josh,
Yes, ma'am.
is there currently any activity, like current activity going on in Springfield, like that is there like names or anything that we can put out there that they're potentially using, like what their program is called, or just to be on the safe side?
Currently I've not heard of them being in Springfield here, but recently. So, but when they do, certainly something that we can share.
Yeah, so like Josh said, they haven't been around here recently, but the name of the company that was doing it, or quote unquote company, they just called themselves the Santa Monica Rehab. They were handing out flyers like crazy at the Breadline, Washington Street Mission. We even had them, they came out of the Crisis Center, funny enough, he even handed these out. So, but yeah, the name that I've heard is the Santa Monica Rehab. So, but I haven't seen them around in a while or seen anybody like them.
Thanks, Cameron. All right. Well, again, wanted to put that away.
This Tamika.
Hey, Tamika.
I need y'all to have y'all pencil and piece of paper. Let's start writing. The name, I know I'm personally. The name of the organization called RODEO Recovery. The person that runs the organization is Honey / Cody, PHIPPS, co-executive director. The address is 240 South RODEO Drive, Beverly Hills, California. The zip code is 90212. The phone, I don't know if this information I got. They might change it. I'm hoping it didn't. But the telephone numbers out there is 657-356-4684. Another telephone number is 657-354-4033. The email HP HIB not B PP. Let me turn my light on for a minute. I can see it a little better. Let me read the email again. HP HIPPS at Rolling Recovery at BIZ. The other email address is CPHIPPS at Rolling Recovery .BIZ. I've been having this card on me for the last year, and they always asking me if I want a job out there. They will hire me. Only thing I do is sit up there and send a resume. Ask me to refer them to some of my friends. I have not done that. I said before I do that, I gotta look into it. And they didn't give me the pamphlet. They gave me the direct information. And I've been holding on this card for almost a little over a year. I first met him about a year and a half ago.
Oh.
And I know I met him personally. I shook the hand personally. I talked to him personally. And I do know how they look.
Oh.
There is the information y'all been looking for. All the organizations been trying to get the information. I told them I had it, but nobody reached out to me and asked me for it. But it been here.
Gotcha.
If you want me to screenshot it and upload it to one of y'all, send me an email and I will do that. I'll see y'all later and be blessed.
Thanks, Tamika. Yeah, we'll reach out to you, and we appreciate you sharing that as well. So thanks so much. Right. All right. The next announcement, just make it a little bit out of order here, but want to make you all aware that for Heartland House, we've added a new person on our team. Shamika Kerr has joined the team to help us develop the Heartland Housing Helpline pilot that we're hoping to launch. Dadgummit, I've still got an automatic going here. Struggling. All right. So Shamika has joined our team, and we're excited to hopefully launch the helpline here and probably do a soft launch in the next month, and get that going and off the ground. The real goal of that is to provide an additional level of basically resource navigation for folks, helping people, one, to kind of do an intake and figure out what rental assistance, utility assistance they might be eligible for. But also if people are having a hard time figuring out, what services they can use, what shelter they can use, things like that. The helpline, in its origin will be available during normal business hours, with hopes of expanding further. But we'll kind of grow it as the need materializes, basically. But wanted to at least give y'all a heads up that we're working on this. This is something we're getting closer to more of a public launch, and we're obviously happy to connect with you all and talk more about the effort. And if you see Shamika around, we want you to know that we're excited to have her on board and helping to get that all off the ground. The next item is our next supportive housing learning lab. Jamie, do you want to just talk about that real quick?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Oh, you pulled that up. Okay, perfect. The next one will be April 9th. We've had 2 already and they've been great successes. We have partnered with CSH and they come down from Chicago and we do a full day of learning. Basically these efforts are to provide training for service providers and direct, staff that are directly dealing with clients and whatnot. And then also the hope from these learning lab sessions is to then create a supportive housing task group to where we meet with those folks, maybe monthly, maybe every 2 months, not quite sure on the frequency, but meet with those folks and go over, hey, what's working here? What other trainings are we needing? How can we support you? So these efforts are kind of just the beginning of that. And then after that, we're hopeful to get that task group going. But the next one will be focused, as I said, it's on 4/9, so April 9th. From about 9:30 to 3, lunch is provided. It's at the Sangamon County Community Resource Training Room, sorry. And you can register for this on our website. I'm gonna link our website page in the chat. But this next learning lab will be on stability and thriving for tenants. So how to support tenants after they've moved into supportive housing, and just to make sure that, whatever goals they have set, that you're leading them in the right path. So just a little update on that.
Yeah. You don't have to be a case manager to check it out. You don't have to have come to the first 2 to benefit from the third one. So please feel free to invite your staff and anybody that you think, I think even just having a greater understanding of what supportive housing is and what all goes into it, if that would benefit anybody on your team, please don't hesitate to send them over. The more the merrier.
We have seen that this is a great space where resources are shared through agencies and a lot of people, it's just been kind of that space. So if that provides encouragement to join, please do.
Excellent. All right. With that, just kind of one last kind of announcement update of something that's going on today, and then we'll see what updates you all have. But currently over at the Old Town Apartments, 5th Street Renaissance has helped us set up an intake event that's going on today. Many of you all have seen in the news that there's over 50 households that are currently, living at the Old Town Apartments there at, Jefferson, Bruns Lane. And due to a lot of issues, but primarily the ownership has not paid for the power and the water. That those households have hit a crisis moment and are trying to find other locations throughout the community. So Fifth Street is kind of leading the charge, helping us do an intake event today out there, figuring out what folks need and kind of how we might be able to come alongside them in the coming weeks. I'm sure as we kind of after we get on the other side of the intake, there'll be a lot of opportunities to partner and probably some collaborations and things like that we need to try to pull off to help people get to safe housing. So just wanted to give you a heads up that that's happening today. Sorry. Penny, anything you want to add on that one?
No, just that they are over there, they're set up, they're getting ready to start in a few minutes, and we hope to get through most of the intakes today so that we can start processing and get the folks moved on.
Excellent. All
And
right.
a thank you to the staff and the people that you have gathered to come out and help us. We appreciate that.
Oh, we appreciate everything that y'all are doing and your team being out there and getting your mobile unit and all the pieces you put in place. It's a huge part of it. With that, any updates from you all and your agencies about things that you have going on over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months before our next meeting?
Hey, this is Jill. I'll get us started. Of course, coming up on the end of March means almost 3 full months at the new address. We're still working on being good stewards and good neighbors. The numbers are rising and things like that. So that would be the first announcement. And the second announcement is our shelter director, Renetta Hamilton, has officially resigned from Helping Hands to pursue other passions. We are pretending to be very happy for her. We are pretending that we are wishing her the best. But we really are. So we just wanted to let the community know. She is here through mid-April. So we're going to get a good transition going and keep the shelter moving forward.
Gives everybody a chance to reach out to Renetta too and share your appreciation for all she's done in that emergency shelter space in our community for a lot of years. A tremendous amount of work. Oh, thanks, Joe.
Hey, Josh, I've got something.
Go ahead, Amy. Yeah, this is free for all. Everybody.
Okay, great.
Go for it.
I just wanted to let everyone know that Mercy has an open position for case manager. So if you are interested in being a case manager for Mercy Communities, please reach out to me via email and I'll stick it in the chat, but it's amy@mercycommunities.org.
Excellent.
This is Dave at Sangamon County. I put in the chat. We're completing our survey. We're running it until the end of the month, end of March. If you've already filled it out, thank you. If you have not, please take 10 minutes or less to answer the short survey. This is a required event for us by the federal government, and it dictates what our services will be over the next 3 years. So your input is very, very important. And if you can share it with anybody you know that might be able to answer it and help us out as well. And it can be all aspects of the, I've had comments like, well, you should only be asking the low income. And I said, that's not, we are asking them, but we need to hear from everybody on your opinions and what you feel or what you have experienced and know that the services need to be offered in this community. So thanks for your time.
Dave, how many, I know you have like a target you're trying to hit. Where are you at on that?
I just asked our consultant yesterday, and he's out of town, so I haven't heard back. But our goal was to get at least 1,000 surveys. There's 200,000 people in the county. We're hoping to get at least 1,000. And as of last week, we had about 500.
Gotcha.
So
right.
if you can help share yeah, if you can share widely, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Excellent.
Josh, I also forgot to mention our Power of the Purse fundraiser. So I wanted to throw that out there. We have our super fun fundraiser coming up. It's all things purses, silent auction. It's a great time. It's April 25th, a Thursday evening from 5:30 to 8:30. We do have a few tables left, so if anybody would like to join us, we'd be happy to have you. Tickets are available on our website.
Awesome. And I'm putting in the chat the Illinois Office to Prevent and End Homelessness. That's a new office, but last year they held what they called the Home Illinois Summit for the first time. It was in Chicago. This year it's going to be in Springfield on June 4th and 5th, and it's free. There's going to be a lot of great kind of learning opportunities, networking opportunities. If you want to hear about what's happening around, homeless services in the state of Illinois, it's a great opportunity. So there in the chat is the link to register, and again, it's all free and here in town, which is really great. So I hope we have a huge showing from Springfield.
This is Lisa with PATH. Cameron and I are the PATH team, and we have hours now at Helping Hands that are set. We have Tuesdays from 9 to 2 and Thursdays from 8 to 10. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cameron. This is new. We are in a private room there. Folks can come meet with us and get an introduction to PATH. We can explain the other Memorial Behavioral Health Services, link them to those services. We're getting ready to be able to do intake for Memorial Behavioral Health, so hopefully it can be a one-stop shop. Let's see. If anybody's out in the community and they know folks are staying at Helping Hands and might need our services, you can give them those hours. You can also call for an intake at Memorial Behavioral Health to get them set up too.
Yeah, so just one thing to add to that. My office hours at the shelter are from 12 to 2, and Lisa's are yours from 12 to 2 on Wednesdays, and Lisa's, I think yours are at 8 to 10 on Thursdays, right?
That's correct. I said Tuesdays. It's Wednesdays for Cameron, noon to
Yep.
2.
Yep.
And then Thursdays for me, 8 to 10. So it kind of gives them a morning and an afternoon to kind of work with them there.
Excellent.
This is Millicent with Department of Corrections. Introducing my role. What I do is called Corrections Assessment Specialist, and I work with parolees to basically try to reduce recidivism by linking them to resources. And I do this in a few ways. One is that I am compiling what I hope to be a comprehensive resource list for a 16 county area, which includes Sangamon County, but it's not limited to Sangamon County. And another thing that I do is I put together in-reach webinars between community resources and people who are about ready to parole within, say, maybe 9 months into this area. So the only people who would be on that webinar will be people who will be paroling within 9 months to here or somewhere close. I'm going to put my email into chat. And if anybody would like to introduce your agency to me or inquire as to how to be on one of these webinars, please feel free to reach out. Let me know. I am looking for people to be on the webinars. My next one is on April 17th. That's a Wednesday from 9 to 10:30. I usually put a few agencies on each call. I do these 4 times a year. And they're pretty informal. People basically introduce themselves, introduce the services that their agency offers. And this allows the individuals in custody to sort of pre-plan their release. And it gives them some confidence that when they get out, they can make it and they don't feel like they need to turn back to crime. Thank you.
Thank you, Millicent. One just quick note reminder on that, Millicent's a part of what we call the Sangamon County Reentry Council, which involves a lot of different partners around Sangamon County who are trying to provide services for folks sorry, as they reenter the community. And that group meets once a month. The meeting for this month is actually today at 11, from 11 to 11:30. So if that's something that interests you or your organization, reach out to me. We'll make sure we get you on that list. Okay. Any other agency announcements or public comment today? All right. Excellent. Well, with that, we'll free up even a little bit early. Appreciate all the updates, all the work that you all are doing, and we'll look forward to catching you all at our next meeting in May. If you need anything before then, though, don't hesitate to reach out. Take care, everybody.
Thanks.
Hey,